Don't skip this, because what I'm about to share with you might change the way you see every greeting from a woman, especially a married one. Have you ever felt it? That subtle pull in her eyes, a handshake that lingers just long enough to leave you wondering, a smile that feels too personal, too warm, too inviting. In a world full of words, greetings are the moments where silence speaks the loudest. And when a married woman greets you, that simple hi may hold more than just manners. I remember this one time. I was at an event. She walked up, her eyes locked with mine, her smile. It wasn't just kind. It was deep, warm, soft, almost like she was letting me into a secret. She laughed at something I said, touched my arm gently, like it was natural. But I couldn't stop wondering, was this just politeness, or was something more stirring beneath the surface? I thought about it for days, and the more I thought, the more I realized her greeting said so much more than her words ever could. It was a signal, a reflection of feelings hidden behind practiced smiles, and that's what we're going to explore today. These 6 powerful ways a married woman's greeting might be quietly revealing her attraction to you are not just surface observations. They are deeply rooted in human psychology, body language, and timeless Stoic wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius said, "What we do now echoes in eternity." Greetings may seem small, but they are actions, and actions always tell the deeper truth. Let's begin. Way 1. She smiles genuinely. A married woman's genuine smile is more than just a simple gesture of politeness. It is a powerful indicator of her attraction to you. When a woman is truly drawn to someone, her smile goes beyond the surface. It becomes a reflection of her inner warmth, comfort, and positive emotions. You'll notice that the smile isn't forced or fleeting. Instead, it's one that reaches her eyes, causing her entire face to light up in a way that feels effortless, yet sincere. This is not just a display of friendliness, but a sign that she is truly enjoying the moment and feels a sense of ease in your presence. Psychologically speaking, a smile that is genuine and unguarded speaks volumes. It's a sign that her emotions are aligned with affection and that she feels a deeper connection with you. A genuine smile transcends the act of smiling itself. It's a reflection of her attraction, an unspoken message that she feels something more than just simple camaraderie. From a Stoic viewpoint, this gesture holds even greater significance. It's a reflection of inner peace, contentment, and the strength of her character. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." A genuine smile, therefore, is not just a reaction to a fleeting moment of joy. It signifies a harmony within her mind, a positive outlook on life that she chooses to share with those around her. Her smile reveals that she is in a place of emotional balance and positivity, making it clear that your presence in her life brings her happiness. This smile can act as an invitation, a subtle yet powerful cue that she enjoys being near you and is open to deepening your connection. If you find that a married woman greets you with such warmth, take a moment to appreciate the significance of this gesture. It's not merely a casual smile, but an honest reflection of her feelings. Way 2. She initiates physical contact. Let's move to the second sign, a gesture that often speaks louder than any word. When a married woman takes the initiative to physically touch you, even in small ways, it's a cue that shouldn't be overlooked. Physical touch is one of the most powerful nonverbal languages we possess. It carries with it warmth, attention, presence, and in some cases, desire. But when that touch comes from someone who's already emotionally committed to someone else, it creates a complex moment that deserves attention and care. A brief hand on your arm, a light brush on your shoulder, a hug that holds just a beat too long. These touches may seem innocent on the surface, but their timing, the energy they carry, the way they make you pause and question, those are what give them. Meaning, imagine you're at a gathering. She greets you, and instead of a quick wave or distant hello, she reaches out. Her hand finds your forearm mid-laugh. Or she gives you a hug that isn't rushed. It's not overly long. But it lingers just enough that you feel her presence more deeply than you expected. These aren't necessarily grand gestures. In fact, they often pass under the radar, but that's what makes them so powerful, because she didn't have to touch you at all. But she did. In the world of subtle attraction, this kind of touch is rarely accidental. It's a physical signal, wrapped in comfort and plausible deniability. But if it happens more than once, if her touch comes with consistency, with purpose, it could be a quiet confession. From a Stoic perspective, this is where your control and discernment are tested. You're not meant to react impulsively. You're not meant to draw conclusions based on wishful thinking. You are meant to notice, to observe, and to maintain control over your own mind and emotions. It's easy to confuse friendly physicality with flirtation, but Stoic clarity demands that you look beyond the act and into the pattern. Is she this way with everyone, or just with you? Is it brief and thoughtless, or intentional and recurring? Remember, it's not the touch alone that speaks. It's the comfort behind it, the trust, the willingness to enter your space, physically and emotionally. And your response is equally important. A man grounded in wisdom does not let ego inflate or desire override his judgment. He stays centered. He reads the moment without becoming lost in it. If her touch feels familiar, too familiar, ask yourself, is this an opening, or is it a test of my self-control? Attraction may be present, but so is responsibility, especially when boundaries are blurred. So when a married woman greets you not just with words, but with touch, don't dismiss it, and don't indulge it recklessly either. Let it inform you. Let it remind you that the body, just like the eyes, often speaks what the lips won't say aloud. Way 3. She asks personal questions. When a married woman begins asking you personal questions, questions that step beyond surface-level small talk, it's no longer just friendly conversation. This moment should raise your awareness, not your ego, because a woman who is emotionally tethered elsewhere rarely drifts into the intimate corners of another man's life unless something deeper is stirring. These questions aren't casual. They aren't asked out of politeness or habit. They are intentional. They are exploratory. They seek to know you, not just the facts about your job or your weekend plans, but the layers beneath. She might ask what you're passionate about, what keeps you up at night, what you regret, what brings you peace. These are not neutral inquiries. These are questions that reach into the vulnerable parts of you, pulling at the threads of your character. And this is where Stoic wisdom becomes essential. Epictetus once said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." So don't react with assumption. Don't inflate these questions into something they may not be. Instead, reflect. Ask yourself, why is she curious about me? What lies behind the intent? Is it just conversation, or is there an emotional reach unfolding between the lines? Because when curiosity becomes consistent, when she asks again and again about your inner world, it often signals a desire to connect, a desire that might reach beyond what is appropriate. And this is where your self-mastery is tested. A Stoic man understands that just because someone opens a door doesn't mean he has to walk through it. He recognizes the power of silence. He values restraint. He knows that not every question deserves an answer, especially when those answers could unravel emotional boundaries that should remain intact. She may be genuinely drawn to your depth. She may be searching for something she feels is missing in her own life, but her longing is not your responsibility to fulfill. Her curiosity is not your invitation to drift. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Translated into the present moment, just because someone is lost in emotional confusion doesn't mean you should lose yourself too. Let her questions reveal her state, not change yours. Your calm presence, your decision to hold your ground. That's what makes you powerful, not the temptation to impress her, but the strength to remain true to yourself. In the real world, too many men confuse curiosity for commitment. They mistake emotional attention for emotional availability. Don't fall for that illusion. If a married woman asks about your inner world, don't immediately see it as a compliment. See it as a moment, a mirror, a test. And ask yourself this: what part of me is responding to her questions? My ego or my wisdom? Because a stoic man doesn't just know when to speak. He knows when not to. Way 4. She compliments you. Let's move into the fourth sign, one that often hides in plain sight: compliments. Compliments are like little gifts. They can brighten your day, boost your confidence, and make you feel seen. But when these compliments come from a married woman, especially one who isn't known for handing them out freely, you should pause and pay attention. A compliment from her isn't always just a kind word. It's often a subtle but meaningful expression of admiration. She might comment on your appearance, your smile, your voice, the way you handled something with grace or strength. She might tell you that you're thoughtful, inspiring, or fun to talk to. At first, it might seem polite, harmless, but pay attention to the tone, the timing, the frequency. Is her compliment specific? Is it deeply personal? Does it linger in the air longer than it should? If it does, you're likely hearing more than just social nicety. You're hearing emotional curiosity, sometimes even a hidden longing, because compliments that go beyond the surface, praising your character, your presence, the way you think, those are intimate. Those are invitations. They aren't just about what you wore or how you styled your hair. They're about who you are when no one's looking, and that's where attraction often lives. These compliments don't come dressed in romance. They arrive in the quiet corners of conversation, but they carry weight. They signal that you've taken up space in her mind, and maybe even in her heart. Her voice may soften when she says it. Her eyes may linger. She might tilt her head, look you over, or smile as if she sees something others don't. But this is where you, again, must stand firm in stoic wisdom. It's easy to feel flattered. It's natural to enjoy the attention. But don't let that moment of praise pull you away from your values. Remember, what matters most is how you respond. Do you inflate with pride? Do you lean in, hoping for more? Or do you remain calm, composed, unmoved by fleeting admiration? Because compliments are not just reflections of how she sees you. They are tests, they are cues, and sometimes they are doors to consequences you haven't yet considered. Stoicism reminds us what we can control is ourselves, our thoughts, our choices, our discipline. So when she compliments you, receive it with grace, acknowledge it with poise, but don't let it alter your direction, because your strength isn't in how many people admire you, it's in how few. Opinions can shake your core, and if her words begin to feel like more than words, if they start forming a pattern, then ask yourself, what is she seeing in me that maybe she's not seeing in her own life? And more importantly, why does it matter? That answer, in silence, may reveal more than any compliment ever could. Way 5. She maintains prolonged eye contact. Pay close attention to this one. When a married woman holds your gaze, and I mean truly holds it, it's never by accident. This isn't the quick glance, the polite flicker of eye contact exchanged in casual conversation. This is something deeper, something intentional. It's a look that lasts a heartbeat too long. A pause in time where you feel like she sees you, not just as a person in front of her, but as someone who has stirred something within her. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "The eyes are the windows to the soul, and through those windows the truth often shines, silently, unmistakably, and without restraint." Eye contact is one of the most primal ways we connect as humans. It speaks of presence, it speaks of honesty, and in matters of attraction, it speaks of vulnerability. When a married woman greets you and maintains that steady eye contact, she may be showing you far more than she intends. She may be revealing what her words are too guarded to say, that there's a pull, a fascination, a soft unraveling of the barrier she's supposed to keep firm. From a psychological standpoint, prolonged eye contact releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It deepens emotional connections and amplifies mutual attention. So when she looks at you this way, she may be feeling things even she doesn't fully understand yet. This isn't about seduction. It's about presence. It's about her choosing, consciously or not, to give you a piece of her undivided attention in a world where most people are constantly looking away. And this is where a Stoic man must stand still and steady. It's tempting to mirror that gaze, to dive into the emotional intensity, but it's more powerful to notice it, acknowledge it, and remain grounded. Because when a woman looks at you this way, she's not just seeing you, she's inviting you to see her. All of her. The real, unfiltered version that might be hiding. Behind the surface, she's exposing a part of herself, and that exposure isn't always safe for either of you. You must ask yourself, am I present enough to see what's really happening here? And more importantly, am I strong enough to stay in control? Because in that gaze, there's a question, a test, a moment of vulnerability, and your silence in that moment, your calm, unshaken return of that gaze, may be the most powerful answer you could ever give. So the next time her eyes find yours and refuse to let go, remember, it's not about what she sees. It's about what you choose to see and how you choose to respond. Way 6, she creates opportunities to be near you. When it comes to understanding the quiet language of attraction, this behavior might be the most revealing of all. When a married woman intentionally creates opportunities to be near you, that choice, silent, strategic, and seemingly subtle, can speak volumes. Maybe she joins a conversation you're part of, even though she wasn't originally there. Maybe she chooses the seat beside you when the room offers many. Maybe she finds reasons to walk past your desk, your table, your space, again and again. To someone unaware, it looks casual, coincidence. But to a man who pays attention, to a man who walks in awareness, these moments are signals, intentional, repetitive, emotional. Proximity is not always about physical closeness. Often it's about emotional positioning. She might linger in places where she knows you'll be. She might extend brief encounters into longer interactions. She might invent reasons to stay in the room just a little longer when you arrive. And here's where you must look deeper. Is this proximity occasional or consistent? Does it happen when others are around or only when you're alone? Does she shift closer not just with her body, but with her energy, her attention, her presence? This behavior isn't just about being in the same space. It's about making space for something more. It may be subconscious, it may even be restrained, but it is intentional. And for you, this is where Stoic discipline becomes non-negotiable. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. What happens around you is not always in your control, but how you respond to it, that is your responsibility, your power, your peace. You may feel drawn in by her closeness. You may feel flattered, even wanted, but don't be fooled. This is not just a moment of physical nearness, it is a moment of emotional testing. You must assess, is this attention born of admiration or escape? Is her presence about you or about something missing in her own world? Because when someone crosses boundaries to be near you, it's often less about you as a person and more about what you represent: freedom, curiosity, or a forgotten part of themselves. In these moments, temptation whispers, but wisdom listens. The Stoic path reminds you, not every closeness should be welcomed, not every open door must be walked through, and not every gesture of attention must be returned. Sometimes, the most powerful response is stillness. Sometimes, the most courageous act is to keep your distance, not out of fear, but out of respect. For her commitments, and for your own self-worth. Remember, true strength is not in indulging every desire, but in mastering the self despite desire. So when she draws near again and again, when her presence becomes more than accidental, you must ask, what does this moment require of me? Not what I want, but what is right. In her attempt to be near you, there may be longing, there may be vulnerability, there may even be real emotion. But what matters most is your response. And when you choose restraint over reaction, when you choose awareness over impulse, that is when you walk the true Stoic path. Now you know, when a married woman greets you with warmth, with touch, with curiosity, with compliments, with lingering eye contact, or by simply drawing near, it may mean more than just kindness. It may be her way of quietly saying, I see you, I feel something, and I don't quite know what to do with it. But you are not just any man. You are a man who chooses awareness over assumption. You are a man who walks with discipline, not ego. You are a man who understands that not every open door is meant to be walked through. Stoicism doesn't ask you to suppress your emotions. It asks you to master them. It asks you to observe, to discern, and to lead yourself before you ever try to lead anyone else. So when you find yourself in these moments, when her smile feels warmer than it should, when her touch lingers, when her questions go too deep, when her compliments feel too personal, when her eyes hold yours like they're asking for something, when her presence becomes a pattern, don't rush, don't indulge, don't assume. Pause, breathe, see it for what it is, a test, a moment, an opportunity, not to act, but to reflect. Because at the end of the day, it's not about whether she likes you, it's about whether you respect yourself enough to respond with wisdom. If you've experienced any of these signs, if you've felt the quiet confusion that comes with decoding another person's energy, share your thoughts in the comments below. I read everyone. And remember, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of living, with presence, patience, and power. So stay grounded, stay mindful, and stay true. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay stoic, stay wise, and keep streaming wisdom.